Welcome to my show. I'm with a guest here. His name is Philip Robinson. Mr. Philip, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing amazing. Like I was just telling you, we're just getting the day started over here. I'm very thankful and blessed to be on your show today. And I'm just ready to be able to provide the audience with just some amazing value that they can be able to walk away with and just, execute on whatever they have going on right now. So let's get into it.
Thank you so much, sir. Firstly, I want to I have a little bit information about your background. You started your professional career at the age of 14, which also led you to the passion for writing stories. I was telling stories, and you've
Mhm.
also presented two TEDx talks, and you've written three books. The name of the three books is The Be Phenomenal, Taking Your Life to Next Level, Execute, The Secrets to Fast Success, and Ignore the Flirt. I think that's the third one. You're also a
Mhm.
host of a podcast show, and it is used to inspire young adults. Can you just discuss more on it and just tell us a little bit about your story on that, sir?
Yeah, of course. First of all, thank you for providing that background. It's a pretty good overview of just like the last decade of my life. Yeah, I got into my career when I was about 14 years old. I took a leap of faith with an internship with the minor league baseball team near me. I was at the time, as a lot of 14-year-olds, you kind of have an idea what you want to do in life, but you don't know yet. You're still trying to figure yourself out, right? Just like a lot of teenagers. And so at the time, I wanted to be an engineer and I really loved doing math and just like building stuff. But then a group of people came into my classroom and they offered an internship or the option to apply for internship to work with a television broadcast crew for this baseball team. And I wasn't interested in broadcast, nor was I interested in baseball because it just seemed boring to me, just a whole bunch of waiting. But here, where they got me was, hey, we have free food for you. And like a lot of people, I'm just like, ooh, free food, let's go for it. So I took the leap of faith and I applied for the internship, ended up getting it. And then from there, I ended up really enjoying broadcasts and I really enjoyed the storytelling aspect, just being able to show the audience at home what we see behind our lenses, behind our production room and whatnot, and being able to craft that story in real time for the viewers at home. And that's kind of, as you were saying, that love for storytelling came into place because I got a chance to do it behind the scenes. And from there, I started to do a little bit, but in front of the scenes storytelling. That's where the TEDx talks came from, and then I decided to take another leap of faith. Like, you know what? I don't really like the like writing as a subject or anything like that. However, I want to try a different form of storytelling that was writing a book. And so, even though I'm not the best writer, my fiance will tell anybody that, like, whenever she and my best friend wrote my first draft, when they read it, they were like, are you serious? Like, what is this? But you got to start somewhere, right? And so I
Yes.
did that, and I really enjoyed the impact that it had on the those who read it, and I just kept on creating more books, figuring out different ways to tell stories, figuring out how to get better at it, how to add value into it, and it just continued to grow my career into the point now where I feel like I'm still a storyteller in a way, even as a college instructor, and that's like one of the main things I'm doing right now. I'm a college instructor teaching digital marketing, so the path of storytelling from TV production has led me in so many different ways I could never imagine, but it has allowed me to always give back to where I ended up starting from, and that is teenagers and college students.
Thank you so much, sir. I know you're writing a lot of book, but are you still planning on writing more and more and more, sir?
Am I planning on writing more? Yes.
Yeah.
I have an idea for a book right now. What the name of the book is going to be, I have no idea. We'll find out in maybe like 8 months or so. But I do already have an idea for the next book I'm going to write, and I'm going to start working on that in probably like the next month or so. So hopefully, now the plan is to be able to get that book out by the end of 2025.
Oh, I'll be waiting for that. And I would like to ask, some people do write a lot of stories in due to, in attraction or in angle of their personal experience. Do you just write it out of free will or you write it from your personal experience, sir?
I'm writing from my personal experience. That's what I know best.
Okay.
I give it up to people that are like fiction storytellers, and be able to write in that way because that's I feel as if that's amazing to come up with a whole storyline, have these characters that you're making up and you're truly embodying
Yeah.
within your piece of work. That's really cool. personally, I find I struggle to read them, but I have a huge respect for those type of writers. On my end, like I said, I can only necessarily write from my own experience and things that I've also witnessed. I mean, I guess that's your experience, but things that I've witnessed as well. So being able to tell other people's stories and seeing what I've learned from that. So I'm more so of like I really love the nonfiction side of everything. Some people call it boring, but it's what makes me happy to be able to read those type of books and be able to write those as well.
Yes, completely agree, Mr. Philip. Sometimes those things happen just right. You don't want to read. It happens, sir. And I want to ask on role model. Do you have anyone that they really played an impact, or you just decided on your own? Nobody. There's no role model. There's nobody that was like an influence to motivate you to go into writing and all this career, sir.
Yeah, so I definitely have a lot of influences in my life. I believe that everyone should have some sort of figure that influences them, or whether it's a person or some like art form that influences them. And we're able to take that influence and craft it into our own piece of art, whatever that is, whether it's speaking, whether it's writing, in this case, whether it's content creation. Um, but for myself, it was being able to see people that I looked up to that were doing things that I desired, and those entrepreneurs, and seeing how they were able to write their own books and the impact that it had on their audience. Understanding that people that I was being taught from, whether it was in college or people that I saw also within the TV industry, and how they were navigating the world, and seeing that they were writing their own stories, or maybe they were starting their own podcast. I'm like, okay, well, if these are the people that I look up to, and they're also able to achieve these different type of milestones, then why can't I also do it? Because not to be a comparison, but I'm like, okay, I'm doing the same thing that they're doing. I should be able to do something similar, if not greater, myself, and just put my own spin on it. So yeah, I definitely have had influences in the past. I believe that everyone should have some sort of, again, like a person or an art form that is able to influence you into your work.
Hmm. Thank you so much, sir. And I want to go to the point of
Of course. Do
storytelling.
you have anything that influences you?
Yeah, exactly. I have a lot of things that influences me to my podcast show, and there are a lot of things that influence me. Probably surrounding was part of it, and some type of people I feel like okay, they are doing this, I could also do it, and also, when someone face a lot of failure, sometimes someone has to just try another thing, and
Hmm.
that was what led me to this type of podcast, and I really, really thank God for how it's moving currently now. And so I would like to ask, in your storytelling, in your writing, do you like to, some people like that thing. Do you like to influence relationships, love, and things like that, sir?
Yeah. So I don't. Do I wait? Let me make sure I'm understanding. You're asking, do I like to write about like relationships and love in my
Yeah,
storytelling
yes,
and writing?
yes, yes.
No, not necessarily. So the things that I will like to write is more so around like self help, productivity, career stuff like that, because I've understood as I continue to grow in life and also my career that in order to grow within your career, within your relationships, anything like that, you have to grow internally first. So if you can work on that long term, then you'll be able to see the success, whatever that is to you, because success is different to everyone. You'll be able to see that success that you desire. So no, not necessarily. I have been asked to be on panels around relationships, and that's not something that I've really sought out at the moment, to be like a relationship or like career relationship coach, or love doctor or anything like that. But at the moment, that's kind of how I would, start to approach those situations. Whenever someone does come to me for relationship advice, I'm more so asking them like, okay, well, what is that self work that you're doing first that you're able to bring to the relationship to make the relationship better?
Hmm. Thank you so much, sir. And I want to go to the point of challenges. Even with this your writing
Hmm.
career and everything you are doing currently now, there will be challenges. What challenges have you think you faced during this time, sir?
Oh man, there are always challenges, like you said. Yeah, I feel as if you don't have challenges, you're not trying hard enough. Let's just say, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. Okay, so I have a challenge that I think is a really good story that anyone can learn from.
Mhm.
When I was in college. I used to run cross country, right? And I had a goal that I wanted to make it to the indoor championships that year because it was my senior year in college and university. And so I said, you know what, that's going to be my goal. I'm going to make it there. And so, in a championship race in cross country season, which is right before track, I ended up fracturing my leg. And so at that point, my season was over. So I couldn't run anymore, which meant that I wasn't going to be able to qualify for that indoor track championship like I wanted to. And so that was the challenge for me. How do I still go to a championship if I only have one working leg? And right.
It's true, very
And that's
true.
maybe where a lot of people maybe within their journey, it's like you have somewhere that you want to go and you want to do, but you have a challenge, you have an obstacle that looks as if it's going to be impossible for you to be able to get there. And so I started brainstorming. I said, you know what? I have the ability to be a visual storyteller. And I was able to use my video production, TV production skills that I had gained while I was in high school as this 14-year-old. And I leveraged that to be a videographer and reporter for the team. And so that allowed me to travel with the team to still go to the championships. And not only do that, but it allowed the university to enjoy the work and also offer me like a paid position after my senior year was over. So that was one of the biggest challenges that I definitely had ever faced because it was one of those obstacles that just seemed impossible to be able to conquer. But I just really had to sit down and think about my own abilities that I still had that allowed me to still get to the path down the path that I want to go.
Congrats. It's a very tough one. And with this, your writing career and a lot of careers you have, do you consider yourself as an introverted or an extroverted person, sir?
That's a really good question. So a lot of people always assume that I'm very extroverted just based on everything that I do. However, I'm very introverted. These four walls that I'm in right now, I can stay in these four walls all day and enjoy my entire week and not feel sad or like depressed or anything like that. These books behind me, I'll start reading them. My fiance just got a piano, so I've been trying to hog that from her and learn how to be a little pianist and hopping on interviews. So it's like I find things that still bring me energy and joy throughout my days. But I can definitely be very introverted. I don't like being out on the scene and going to clubs or anything like that. Even networking events sometimes very can make me very nervous. But yeah,
Okay. Thank you
what
so much.
yourself? As a podcast host, you're
Yeah,
talking to a lot of people.
exactly. But both the same time, I'm more of introverted though. I do all things on my
Mhm.
way. I'm just at home every single day, and I don't have problem with it. uh, I want to go to the point of your storytelling and your career, sir. Like, what? Because people used to say creativity could be a gift. Do you
Mhm.
do you really see creativity when it comes to writing and things like that? Do you see it as a gift or something that someone just have to develop in time, sir?
Oh, that's such a good question. My goodness, I don't think I've ever gotten that question before. So we all have creativity. Um, Creativity is something that we're already gifted. We all are creative in our own special way. Now, creativity is a skill that we can foster, that we can grow, just like anything else. The more that you work on that creative skill, the better that you get at it. So yes, it is something that we are all born with. We all can come up with our own different levels of creativity, right? However, that is something that we can, as we work on over time, we can get better at. It's just like let's just say walking, right? Or let's go with running. All of us eventually learned how to walk, right? Well, yeah, we learn how to walk and we take our slow footsteps and whatnot, and we may have low understand how to run. We just start sprinting. But if you really take the time to be very specific and understand the craft of running, you'll understand the running mechanics and you'll eventually get faster over time. And the same thing happens with creativity. The more that you understand how to be creative in your own creative way, you'll eventually become more effective with your creativity. But you just have to one understand that you are creative, and two understand that it's something that you can get better at.
Yeah, it's very important because some people just say this thing is not for me, something like that. And sir, Mr. Philip, I want to go to lessons. Definitely, there will be some lessons, very powerful lessons you've learned in your lifetime. Can you just discuss some of the audience, sir?
Oh yes, one of the biggest lessons that I've always love to tell people, and I think no matter who you are, Whether you're an entrepreneur, you're creative, you're someone that's working in corporate America, this one line is something that will impact you, and that's to focus on progress, not perfection, because perfection never gets done. A lot of people I've come across, they're overthinkers and they just are almost like sitting ducks in their creativity, their path, their career, the skills, whatever they're trying to develop in life because they want it to be perfect. But in reality, most times it's never going to be perfect. You can only work on progression, right? On progress. And so once you get comfortable with something looking, like dusty, halfway done, unkept a little bit when you first start that journey, and understand that you can get better with each episode, with each book, with each speech, with each, maybe like gym that like session that you're doing, anything that you're doing, right? You'll understand that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you'll be at that perfect like ideation that you thought that you had to be at when you first started. But you will learn so much in the process that it's going to seem perfect to you, or excuse me, to other people, right? But to you, you're like, I can still get better. I can still make progress. So that would be like one of the biggest lessons that I will always tell people, that you should focus on progression and not perfection, because the perfection will never get done, but the progress is going to give you a thousand steps along the way, as long as lessons said will be invaluable to you and everybody else that is within your environment.
Thank you so much, Mr. Philip. I really learned from that, too, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And
Mm.
I want to go to the point of some people who love reading. Some people are very good at, they love reading, but they don't used to believe that maybe they have the ability to write. Do you think someone who loves reading
Mm.
can have the ability to write, or reading is just different entirely?
Mm. So are you asking in terms of like writing a book?
Yeah, someone who loves reading a lot. Does that person have that
Gotcha.
capability to also write?
100% they have the ability to also write.
Okay.
Um, Even I will even say like this: if you had the ability to speak, you had the ability to write.
Wow.
Don't let your your fear of not being the perfect writer in terms of like grammar, constructing sentences, constructing like a really well put together story. Don't let that stop you from being a writer. So nowadays, you can even, let's just say, talk to text, right? You can use the device and talk into it and it will write it out. Let that be your beginning stage of your writing. And while you do that, it's going to do a couple things. One is going to help you be faster, be able to write a book. Let's just say you will more than likely be able to speak a page faster than you can type or write physically a page. So that allows you to see what you said within the page, and then it allows you to analyze, one, your speaking ability, right? And then two, the writing that's going to be on the page, and you can edit it a lot faster, or you can just go find someone to edit it, right? They can kind of construct it in the way that you would like. So if you can speak, you can write. But if a person isn't really comfortable with that, or if they don't have necessarily like the speaking ability, then yes, I still believe that if you're a avid reader, or even just like someone that halfway reads a book, let's just say once a month, then you still have the ability to write. You understand what makes a good book that you like to pick up and finish, and I would just model that for your own piece of work.
Thank you, Mr. Philip. And I want to go to the big part now, artificial intelligence. Artificial
Oh
intelligence
man.
now is doing a lot of things. I'm like, will people who love writing really even use that writing career again in the future? What can you say about the artificial intelligence today? And do you think it will have a very huge effect in writing in the future?
Yes, I think it's already having an impact on writing right now. I use AI to help me write. The thing is, with artificial intelligence, you have to remember, excuse me, you have to remember with AI that it's not there to take over. It's not there to take a job. It's not there to take over you. It's there to be an assistant, right? So once you understand that it's there to assist you, you'll start to use it differently. Like when I'm using AI to write, I'm not using it to, let's just say, write the entire book for me, then copy and paste, and then I'm going to publish it on Amazon or anything. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to allow it to create a structure for me, an idea, a storyline, right? All of that. And then I'm going to put my own thought process into it. when I say it, I don't mean the AI. I'm talking about what it produced for me, and then put my own spin on it, my own creativity, my own voice, and I'm going to put that piece to work out. The thing with AI is almost like it's like a catapult, right? When we were talking about being perfect and not working on focusing on that and focusing on progression, AI can help a lot of people that are overthinkers because it can get you out of the stalling stage because it will already produce something for you and then you just edit it and work from there, right? So I think AI is amazing for writing. You just have to understand how to use it, and especially as an idea generator and a catapult for your creativity that you will eventually put out into the world.
That was a very, very good answer. That was a very, very good one. Thank you, Mr. Philip, sir.
Thank you, of course.
Yes, sir. I would like to ask if you have any advice you'll be willing to give to the audience, sir, if there is any, sir.
Any advice I would give to the audience, key takeaway from today,
Yes.
I would say I think I would definitely double down on what I said earlier about focusing on making progress and not necessarily perfection. So to anyone listening to this right now, if you have an idea, just go ahead and put the idea out in the world. Just start today. Because if you start today, then you can understand that you can make those 4 steps towards your progression journey. And then in a year from now, you'll see that you have made so much progress rather than just waiting, keeping that idea in your head and time passing by. Because that's one thing we'll never get back. We'll never get time back. Every episode can be better. Every book can be better, right? You can just continuously make progress and be 1% better every single day. So that's what I would want the audience to do. So just figure out what is that one thing that's been holding you back. How simple can you make it that you can work on this every single day in order to make that progress towards your goals, for it to be a progression journey and not a perfection journey?
Thank you so much, Mr. Philip. And there's a question I normally ask from the ancestors, from the forefathers. If there is anything you would like to bring back to our time today, what do you think that thing would be, sir?
If I what?
If there is anything you would like to bring back from the ancestors, from the forefathers, what do you think that thing would be, sir?
Um, hold on. I don't know if I'm understanding the question. If I want to bring anything back from the
The
conversation?
ancestors. No, from the ancestors, the forefather.
Oh, hmm. I would say, I would say, I would say hope. I would probably say hope because that is one thing that will always keep us pushing forward, right? And almost like faith in a mustard seed that we hear about very often. But faith and hope, being able to push forward, but also understanding that we will eventually get to that greener grass that we are looking for, right? No
Yeah.
matter where we are at the moment, it may seem that it's rough, that it's going to last forever. Almost like those challenges also that you asked about in the beginning, like it can be seen as very tough and almost impossible to navigate. But if you always have faith and you always have hope that you'll eventually get to where you want to go, that over time, and I also understand that it won't happen overnight, but that may to take a couple years. It may take I was about to say some decades,
Yeah,
right?
some years.
Yeah, it may take a while, but you'll eventually get there, right? So that would be like the main thing that I would say that I would take. And also just, remind everybody, if you have that faith and you have that hope that eventually you'll get to where, it may not be where you want to be, but you can help the people that come after you, like, your kids and whatnot, see that lifestyle that you wanted for them.
Yes, I agree, Mr. Philip. It's very, very important. Faith, there's patience, hope, and people who are coming. The way they are going to see us should be in a very, very positive part. Thank you, Mr. Philip. I want to appreciate you for your time. It's mean a lot to me, honestly speaking, Mr. Philip. Because I was like, with this man come at all? I was like, let me see what will happen. But you already showed up. So thank you, Mr. Philip.
No,
Thank you,
of
sir.
course, I got you.
All right, sir.
Yeah, it was a
So
pleasure.
bye bye.
See you later. Have a nice day.
Bye.